Okay, we have 5 minutes. Okay, it's all right. This is the time to start. So today is the third day of the project and the program special seminar, and this is the final part, the third part of the program entitled Program Management. And Professor Tanaka, he presides over this seminar, and he is one of the most important advocate of the program management. So you can learn quite a lot from his lecture and this afternoon's workshop. So Professor Tanaka, please.
Thank you, Professor Negawa. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to this feature seminar. This is the most enjoyable, a little bit challenging, but enjoyable part. Did you have a nice weekend? On Sunday, I went to Keio University alumni club called Mitakai, regional Mitakai in Machida City. It's nice. It's a lot of fun. I'm a little bit younger than the average. Means, you know, those old boys and girls, they're very eager in maintaining, you know, the activities as Keio alumni. So think about contributing to your alma mater. In America, usually conferences, meetings start with morning coffee and donuts. I don't take donuts, but I used to have clients come into my company in Yokohama to evaluate us on some bidding project. So they relate whether we are used to the American way of doing business. The first thing in the morning should be coffee and donuts. So I asked my young women colleagues to buy donuts at Dunkin' Donuts near the station. Okay. Spend a little bit about tradition of the schools. I think we three teachers, Professor Negawa, myself, and Professor Muranushi of Gakushuin University, carry the tradition of, say, 3-4 universities. Of course, Professor Negawa is a professor of Keio University, and this is, I'm a Bachelor of Laws and Political Science of Keio. Two of the professors, Professor Anegawa and Professor Muranushi, they were graduated from University of Tokyo, bachelor work, and I think Professor Anegawa completed master and PhD. And then two of the professors went and have been graced with the PhD of Yale University, founded in 1701. They carry, you know, tradition of 300, many years, 310, that's it. That's very nice. That's very classical, real, you know, ivory tower, right? And then Muranushi, Professor Muranushi, he may come this afternoon, the professor of Gakushuin. Gakushuin was founded in 1847. By the way, the emblem, boys Gakushuin and university uses that cherry blossom emblem. But girls' school use this yaezakura. I know this because three of my family members, my wife, two daughters, went to girls' schools of Gakushuin. So I'm a minor as Keio alumni. In my home, 4 out of 7 adults, family members, they are graduate of Gakushuin. Now, about me, I used to be professor until last year and still visiting professor of the Schema Business School. In France, there is a system of Grandes Écoles, that's professional, elite professional school system, which are located higher than the university. Business school used to be called ESC, École Supérieure de Commerce. So my school used to be called ESC Lille. Lille is near the border, French border with Belgium. Was founded 1891. This is a moment that my first doctoral student, Saroho from Africa, was awarded the PhD. I was second supervisor with him. He did an excellent job. And I am state professor of this National University of Shipbuilding of Ukraine, named after Admiral Makarov. Admiral Makarov is Russian famous admiral. At the same time, he's a pioneer as engineer of warships. And his technology of ice breaking in the Antarctic Ocean is still utilized. So a lot of innovation. And Admiral Makarov used to be a commander of Russian fleet in the Japan Sea, and he was killed by sea mine during the Russia-Japan war. And the history, is going on, and by chance I'm professor of this university carrying his name. So the picture on the right-hand side is the time when I was awarded academician, state academician diploma. In Russia, CIS country, Ukraine, there are 3 tiers of doctors, PhD, Doctor of Science, and then academician. I couldn't be a Doctor of Science because you had to publish 5, 6 bound books before you are awarded Doctor of Science. So Ukrainian government probably skipped that process and nominated me as academician. This lady is my colleague. She's Dean of Technology Department and the mother of Olympic swimmer of Ukraine. This is another university called Kyiv National University of Construction and Architecture. This is #2 school about infrastructure engineering in the former USSR system, still very famous. It used to be a civil engineering department of Kyiv Polytechnic Institute. That's one of the most prestigious universities in the USSR or in the world. And we get together. My research base is at this university. I'm visiting professor here. And so this is a picture taken after all of these students, master's student, doctoral student, sat down for one day, and they were certified as Japanese P2M credential. And I didn't attend this university, but Harvard is not the oldest in America as a university. This National University of San Marcos in Lima, Peru, is the oldest in the Americas. Of course, this university, in Spanish, it's called La Universidad Nacional Mayor de San Marcos, was founded as early as 1551 of course, founded by a Spanish king, Rey Español, in those Spanish days. I attended 2 months summer course called on comparative laws. This school is very famous for comparative laws, so it was taught in Spanish. I could speak and read, listen to Spanish those days. Nowadays, it's corroded. So professors carry tradition of not only Japanese, but very historical universities. That's part of the flavor of this course. Now, today, we are going to learn about the fundamentals of program management. Say, definition, why we study, we use program management, that's objective analysis, typical innovation model founded on program management. Actually, we have a look at view on program management and see how organizational strategy is translated into a program. Since program management is a vehicle to translate organizational strategy into actual formats of change by way of project. But before project, more or less we need programs. And have a hint of how grand design, that's also called the mission in program management, looks like, and how the program conception and formulation is carried out, as well as how a program is designed and structured into actual project. And we wish to know briefly how to evaluate conceived programs, right? Now, this is repetition of my slide on day 1. Program management is a set of processes such as conception, formulation, design, structuring, and implementation management of a program. As I say, program is an organizational vehicle to realize an organizational strategy formed into a cluster of component projects connected organically to deliver the strategy. Right? That's a new definition of program management. Originally, the term program is a political term to mean grand policy objective. And program management was founded by NASA on its Apollo program, right? Those days, until quite recently, programs, the collection of projects organically combined with each other. And then, therefore, those should be managed in an integrated way instead of managing individual projects, because those projects are under the same holistic mission of a program, right? But nowadays, it's still the original format of program works. However, the world is becoming complex and complex. And we find some other needs why we challenge programs. So in my classes and in the association, PMJ, where I was president over the past 10 years, uses a definition that program is a management unit, 1 tier higher than the project, to design and implement a strategic breakthrough by intentional, I repeat, intentional mechanism building. Okay? Give you some idea. Talk about building a new airport, right? Suppose that we are going to build airport some 50 years ago, right? Those days, airport expansion program, new construction program, consisted of feasibility study, land acquisition, site development, runway construction, apron, terminal building construction, control tower construction, access traffic construction like Narita Express, right? A bus traffic system, airport bus system. Looking at these, this is really a huge project. However, these are collection of a traditional project, right? Everybody knows how to build, runways, terminal buildings, right? Now, suppose we build a new airport in Yokohama City, right? It's a different story. Of course, we do the same, the airport design and construction work. On top of that, we have to start with political economic debates as to are we sure that we need this airport or not, right? And then another question is how to differentiate a new Yokohama airport as a hub airport in competition with Korean Incheon, right? Say Hong Kong airport, etc. And need for environmental assessment is becoming more and more stringent. And negotiation with Gyokyo, right? That's a tough job. And before, say, 5-7 years before the airport is, in the design process, you have to start global marketing to penetrate the brand of this new airport. It's a lot of innovation elements included in the program. So that's why we need a new form definition of program management that we are going to see today, right? So when we ask ourselves why we do program management, there are several reasons. The first is complexity, say size of the project, programs, stakeholders, socioeconomic factors. Second, because of innovation, we don't know at the beginning what is the exact scope of the program or project. So the contemporary modern programs tend to be scalable, right? It may expand, it may shrink. So scalability for viability as well as light scope. And we have to be competitive, and we need the novelty through breakthrough. That's one of the reason for races against innovation. And most of the time, programs nowadays are rich in content and vague. Don't know. If you look at the very tightly knit program, it may shrink and dilute it with reality and see ordinary mediocre projects. So we start always with rich picture. It gives a possibility. So we did onsen in Tohoku project. Also from the very critical, the reality standpoint, it's a challenge. However, we should not just stop arguing that you should have a dream, okay? And high added value, Fukakachi, cannot be obtained by straight forward efforts. So we need compounding of disciplines, right? Cross-disciplinary approach. Discipline means in academic world means senmonbuya, specialty. In professional world, it's senmonbu, like mechanical engineering department, civil engineering department, procurement department, that discipline. And you should be familiar with the term cross-disciplinary approach, 業際的な、学際的な, right? So, philosophy behind my and your program management is like this. The first, understand the complex world. That needs complex approach to programs and the project. Intentional value creation. You may create value. However, to accelerate value acquisition, programs should be intentionally designed to accelerate new value delivery. Mission-driven. Ukrainians, Russians love my standard, our standard of Japan, P2M, because they say programs, projects are mission-driven in Japan. I say, wait a moment. There are still in Japan many projects which are not mission-driven. We suppose with a contractor, we do project and deliver exactly according to the plan given by the client. That's part of the job. However, certainly in Japan, able project managers, those very fast-moving companies, start from mission definition and then go through project cycle, program cycle. I said mechanism building, and what's very important, this is not just my view, but shared by my colleague professors in Europe, is that P2M or new Japan-type program management gives thought alternative rather than just giving one-way best practice like with Western project management standards. Think about this yourself using rich, sources of knowledge. That's a stance. Now, spend 1 minute about, this is a little bit academic, theoretical background of, say, program management, also just management, business administration. Suresh, doctor, could you tell what is constructivist stance vis-a-vis positivist stance in academic discussions? That's in management. You are from School of Medicine, right?
Unfortunately, I do not have an answer.
Okay, anybody? That's a little bit difficult, but it's tricky. Constructivist stance is pioneering attitude, right? Positivist stance is very conventional, conservative, conservatives, sticking to the established theories, knowledge that say positivist stance. Constructivist stance is an academic position which pursues praxis. Praxis is the pattern of behaviors to try to make your project, your work, better day to day, month to month, by, say, acting, knowing, and learning within the project or in your work. That constructivist stance. And that's taught by my academic boss, Professor Bledile French. praxeological epistemology, this is a difficult term. Epistemology means knowledge science. And praxeological is, as I show the meaning here, acting, knowing, and learning within projects and programs. Nowadays in Japan, we listen to the term action learning, right? Action learning is quite similar to this academic theory. And dynamic opportunity to build in. And the modeling of a project program in the ecosystem. In this case, eco does not mean ecological. It's all the surrounding environments, including political, social, and really eco. And in the French school, they call it ecosystem. So it's really talking about how to they create grand design in talking with or coping with the environment. Okay. This is just for your information. And I started talking about national innovation model of Japan. I'm saying that in Japan, innovation is not just the function of science and technology. I say we start with national policy and strategy, and then of course we need a core technology cluster. So usually we stop here when we talk about innovation. But nowadays, these two account for just, say, 65% or so of the formula. Well, I'm saying that we need consortium management. In this case, consortium means common management standard to frame and accelerate innovation. So that's sort of P2M guidebook. And MOT, I respect Professor Kentaro Nobeoka, who used to be professor of Kobe. He's now a professor of Hitotsubashi. He's really MOT scholar. It's not just that, R&D-oriented MOT, but how to innovate manufacture company is Nobeoka MOT. And then, last but not least, behavior model for innovation project players. That's very important. Mission achieving type professional. That's the word used by P2M. And this is the horizontal picture of what I said, right? Balanced innovation model by me. I made I presented this idea for the first time in Australia during the Australian PM conference as a keynote speaker. It's, 5-dimension models of for innovation acceleration, technology platform, management of technology, systems engineering, and as pilot of innovation, we need project and program management that you are challenging over the past 3 days. And then also we need institutional strategic support like government financing to fuel innovation. And all on the BAR, a platform of shared context motion for collaborative value creation. We discussed this one very briefly on day one. Product management view. So this is how program management proceeds. It's a trigger capture, program conception and formulation, design and structuring, and actual implementation management. Why you create a program? Look at these triggers: nonlinear changes, social complexity, global competition, emerging technology, obsolescence, relative core resource strengths. We have this and that strengths in special resources. What else could be triggers? Anybody from your experience? Some other triggers that prompt you to create a project program. Arrival of cloud technology is really a very big change in the environment. So all the IT companies, IS companies are crazy about how to be winner in the cloud era of the business, right? And so somebody, right? Yes, yes. This one?
Yes. I'm confusing. System engineering is not under management technology? I mean,
No, it's not counted as usually in the academic application of MOT, systems engineering stands on its own. And it's not part of management of technology. Of course, I know that MOT was first founded by MIT. Those days, study on system engineering was vital part of MOT. But system engineering nowadays is a standalone school in many countries. But Japan is not quite competent about system engineering. But say, for instance, in Europe, you start studying systems engineering, systems theories when you are the junior high student. So people are very well aware of systems theories. Systems theory consists of, say, systems engineering, soft systems approach, system dynamics, those things. So that's, I think, where you stand as an academician or the researcher. What you experience in, for instance, ITB Institute of Technology, Bandung. She's a master of Bandung Institute of Technology, one of the most prestigious technical universities in Asia. What you in ITB is system engineering part of management technology?
mechanical engineering.
Huh?
Mechanical engineering.
Mechanical, oh, that's wrong. Because systems engineering cuts across all the engineering disciplines as integrated engineering field. So I came from an engineering construction company. We have so-called process engineering. That's typical systems engineering. So because they integrate all the, engineering disciplines, like chemical, engineering, mechanical, electrical, civil, controls. What's your original major in your bachelor?
Actually, I come from aeronautical engineering.
Huh?
Aeronautical. Aeronautical.
Aeronautical.
Airplane.
Yeah. 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 Right? Yeah. Right. And then there should be somebody who monitors global trends and tell us we need to change, and therefore we have to create a project, a program, right? This is capital trends. And against your own organization strategy, you say, we have to have this and that idea for change and have to create, conceptualize, and formulate a program. Then we go to define more closely our idea as a program. And then The next step, we enrich program contents. In the beginning, it's rich in vague, but we have to elaborate. I will talk to you more details about these steps. Okay? This is the most typical to be, say, as is to be model. This is a model I copied, I borrowed from my colleague at Panasonic Learning Systems. This is Panasonic model. So, say, suppose Panasonic stays here, and it should, according to President Otsubo, it should evolve as electronics company, which is very competent in eco sustainability business, right? So that sustainability, that state is to be in 3 years, 5 years from now. This is kind of, and then there are a lot of innovation projects. And as I said, there are 4 dimensions of looking at, evaluate programs. The one is market, second product, mechanism. Mechanism is, value chain is part of mechanism. And then governance. So financing is corporate financial capabilities, part of governance. And I said, do you remember that I use the term backcasting? That's consultants' world. This, look at the current state and say that we have to arrive at this state. That's ordinary way. It's called forecasting, right? Now, backcasting is that we set the to-be state first. And looking at the current state, recognize the gaps in between and try to fill that gap. Why are we doing this? There are so many resistances for changes in our organization, right? So we have to convince colleagues, your management, that we have to change for this and that particular reason. Otherwise, we can't be going concern any longer. So this is a little bit difficult. However, many companies use this backcasting way for changes. A typical program formulation is a blue ocean strategy. I think all of you have heard about the term blue ocean. Who are famous about blue ocean strategy? This idea was originally found in the US, Southwest Airlines, right? Cutting all frills. They made, airfare very low competitive, right? And over the past few days, there is a talk about Tanita, that's a manufacturer of weighing scale, your weight, is going to open a diet restaurant in the heart of Tokyo. That's blue ocean strategy, right? The blue ocean strategy is, instead of responding to customer needs passively, let's invite red ocean. That means blood, right? Try to go to blue ocean where you are very profitable, right? In between the green ocean. So Tanita said, well, we provide diet foods and we provide a diet consultant, certified consultant as part of the restaurant so that you can lose your weight, right? 10 kilograms in several months or so. So provide nutritious food, diet food, and at the same time, you are in the path of losing your weight. So that's really a blue ocean. So the idea is that your customers were not aware before, and your competitors, like big catering companies, for instance, Shida Corporation. Shida, you know Shidax, who is operating the karaoke. That's originally the 給食会社, right? Or 社員食堂 operator. So Blue Ocean provides a solution that your customers cannot realize and your competitors are not aware of. That's sort of a program idea. Now, I'm saying strategy implementation. Remember this vertical flow starting from a raison d'etre down to program, profile, and design. And then we have project here, right? Once again, program is a unit of realizing organization strategy. Before, when the economy was very good and corporation had a lot of resources available for creating new ventures, new business, it's okay. The corporation could take time, spend first-class human resources on a particular strategic project. Nowadays, you can't do that because almost all projects are pressed for, delivery or pressed for the shortest time to the market, and talented resources are not in a good sufficient supply. And then one idea is to pattern-ize how to create, design a program before you form actual project. Because sometimes projects are created out of just curiosity or without deep discussions about its value or future impact, right? So program management, a patternized way to think about how to translate organization strategy, for instance, annual business plan into actual project as a unit of distributed change ideas as functions. Okay? Any questions so far? Okay, let's go on. We stop at 11:30. So what strategy? Those boys and girls attending, not boys and girls, excuse me. Those people attend the business schools are very well familiar with the types of strategy. So there are visionary strategies. That's founders' belief, founders' belief of Mr. Konosuke, I should say Dr. Konosuke Matsushita, right? Founders' belief. And then contingent strategy. Yes, strategy to adapt to environment changes. Environment changes, so strategy, there must be a strategy to adapt to that change in the environment. That contingent strategy, well, it's also called the emergent strategy. And the competitive strategy, how to differentiate yourself from your competitors, right? How can KBS differentiate itself from business schools of Hitotsubashi, Kobe, or nowadays Aoyama. Yes? Aoyama's business school is very popular. It's that. And most of the strategy nowadays are either this one, contingent, or competitive strategy. And this competitive strategy more or less consists of these 4 types: positioning approach, resource-based approach, game approach, learning approach. Any master student of business school? Was that here? Or who majored MBA? Right? You. Horikazu-san, please tell me what's resource-based approach?
Sorry, I don't.
Well, for instance, you are the professional in specialist in BCP, right? And not many companies have expertise in BCP. And then having you and your colleagues as BCP specialists, it makes a difference, yes. So that special resources. So business management based on particular resources in which you have strengths, that's resource-based. Game approach, that's a little bit difficult, but there are always companies, right? Like fabless manufacturers, very light, but have a lot of idea. So without spending a lot of resources, you can make profit. That's sort of game approach. Grip the most profitable leg in the value chain. Right? Learning approach. Who is famous about advocating learning approach nowadays? Peter Senge, right? Corporation should be learning organization. That what I learned from a British veteran BP about 15 years ago. It's, corporation should can make a difference by continuing structured learning as a corporation, right? That gives you a lot of knowledge asset staying with employees, right? Now, of course, program management incorporates strategies. The idea is that strategies employed on the program must be program-specific strategy elements. And think about two sources. One is sharpened list of strategy theory for selective use on the program. As I'm showing after this slide, there are many, popular management theories that all MBA students, are forced to study, right? At the same time, there must be a basic stance about incorporating strategy, right? This is not shopping list. Well, this is also the shopping list. I'm not saying that you should follow all of these, right? Say, for instance, cross-discipline. That's very important for a program or any changes, innovation, right? Not just single discipline, but put together knowledges, resources across disciplines, either academic or professional, right? The third is analytical or synthesis. As I said, on day one or day two, I don't know, day one, analysis and deductive approach is quite often used in master research, right? Traces certain theory or the certain event into details by using logical breakdown. It's good. But to be a PhD, you need capability of a synthesis. It means you start with literature review, right? Spend months in reading so many minimums. I don't know, that's dependent on the school. Minimum 30 literatures, books. And then you start, summarize what you have read about the basis of your research, PhD research, and then study about hypothetical new idea, new knowledge that you're going to establish and contribute to the academic discipline, right? So a scorecard of my schools in France, we professors have to score. How about the students PhD candidates synthetic capacities, capability. And then abduction, that's kasetsu sette, right? As well as alternatives, options. So single scenario is very dangerous. So we have to have options. And sometimes, I'm not familiar with, but program management says that you apply, option theory for, development. That's coming from, yes, you are the industry, security industry, banking industries. And so the idea is that apply strategy to cope with situational changes. Strategy is in a way, as is often stated, the way to adapt the corporate, the thinking as to how to adapt to the changing environment to maintain its position as an going concern, right? So samples of strategy, corporate vision, of course, annual business strategy, expected business model. Are there any other? Yeah, the business model. Please tell me. Don't be shy. Yes? Welcome. Whatever comments, welcome. Have confidence. Any other idea to add to this list? Say niche. This is very important nowadays. Everybody wants to, wants growth, of course. Sharpening competitive edge. Do you know the term sharpen your pencil, sharpen my pencil, right? That's management jargon, means sharpen your competitive edge. That's sharpen your pencil. There are my colleagues who are told by Saudi Aramco, Saudi Arabian client, sharpen your pencil. Then he really sharpened pencil. It's good. Well, very funny stories. When my former employer, Day3 Corporation, was a prime contractor for Malaysia Petronas, that's state oil corporations, no refinery. Project manager, client project manager is an American hired by Petronas. He once got angry and said to Day3 contractors, project manager, you are doing a monkey business. But that serious man, project manager, he's engineer, saying, oh, I'm not doing monkey business. We don't trade orangutan or, that's Malaysian story. That's a joke. Well, a lot of jokes like that, teasing Japanese. So when one of the old-time Day3 Corporation president, he crossed the American continent, US continent, from Los Angeles to New York. He was assigned on Amtrak train. He was assigned upper deck of a sleeper train. And on the lower deck, there was a lady. And he said to her, good evening, my name is this and that. I'm sleeping on you. Oh, she said, oh, no, no, no. Do you know this little joke? Right? On is this one, right? So lady said, oh, no, no, no. Sleeping on you. That means something different. Framework approach, that jargon of management, business administration, establish, the user's framework of approaching certain management issues. These are typical issues. SWOT, strengths, weakness, opportunity, threat, SWOT. That's four-dimension analysis. Program project portfolio analysis, right? This is bread and butter, right? White elephant, and this things like that. Value chain. And so what are typical discussions about value chain, Japanese value chain, and American value chain? Anybody? Any comments? Value chain, that's upstream to downstream. Discussion. Please challenge me. Well, Japan is famous for a vertical value chain, like a Keiretsu, right? Brand owner, like Panasonic, Sony, and then you have, Keiretsu, the suppliers, etc. But in the West, especially United States, value chains are very flexible. You outsource even R&D and try to keep just brand owner position and the marketing. And all those things outsourced, like so many companies. 3C, this is management 3C. It's not 3C. Do you know this? Ladies probably know this one. Comfortable, communicative, cooperative. What are these keywords? That's 3C raised by ladies as candidates of the marriage partners. Right? Cooperative. I'm a bad partner because I don't do, even the physical homework. After I got married, I lived only with women. So everything done by, by mother-in-law, my wife, yes, sisters. 4P, product, price, place, promotion. 7S of strategy, that's McKinsey. And once again, resource-based competition. Product market matrix. Matrix analysis, that's also called a grid analysis. Right? Grid analysis is vertically, we list project A, B, C, D, and horizontally, we have access by evaluation, like profitability, competitors, etc. Blue ocean. Smile model versus samurai earlier model. Anybody? Have you heard about this smile model versus warrior model? Originally created by management guru in Taiwan. Say, this is interesting. Probably you know this chart. So nowadays, over the past 5 years, say for instance, electronic industry, profitability is very low in assembly. That means brand making, but makes good profit in parts business. Like Panasonic, Sony, they sell their own parts to Samsung. Make money, right? So this is okay. And marketing, right? marketing, smart marketing, that means put special service to your products, right? iPad that gives you, downloading privilege, etc., etc. So this is like a curve. Looks like a face, smiling face. It's called smile model. What's warrior model? So many Japanese corporations say, oh, this is no good. To be a more stably profitable company, we should be, our value chain profitability should be like this. So samurai doesn't smile. So it's called the samurai warrior model. Teaching project management is a combination of miscellaneous knowledge, discipline. It's not just to build something. I strongly wish to go to MBA when I was an employee of Jewish Corporation, but always heavy load. Yes, overnight work, etc. I used to be global proposal manager. It's kidding. No dream of saying, oh, I wish to go to Sloan Business School, not Harvard, Sloan. Many of my colleagues, company colleagues or industry, they try to go to Sloan Business School of MIT. Program design, there is a grand design, or in another word, a mission, the program. What's mission? Mission is a grand design of a program. It must be a brief statement of a grand design. The mission in the program context dates back to the concept of mission engineering at NASA on Apollo program in the 1950s. A mission embodies a program owner's great vision, concept of a challenging problem. Ono-san was fascinated by a world onsen project. That's owner's dream, yes? So you should keep on challenging that. It's really a mission, grand design of your project. Rich means broad in connotation, maybe vague at the beginning, and expecting a multidisciplinary solution, not just a straightforward one. And a mission should embrace diverse value notions, right? Not just one-sided value notion. Means not only just look at economic value, but social value. It's very important nowadays. CSR, sustainability value, contribution to the society. Right? And a mission must fire inspiration. So mission statement should be charming, encourage you to, squeeze your energy. Great idea. So that's must fire inspiration, and a positive buy-in. Buy-in is endorsement, support. Right? Potential stakeholders, and must be defended. There were arguments about the onsen project, but you have to defend your idea, original idea. By the way, Professor Hanegawa, do you use the term defend your master thesis or PhD thesis at KO? Defend.
Not officially, but usually we refer to that term. Not official.
Because in the rest of the world, I know only Europe and America. The students say, I have to defend my PhD thesis, master thesis, on this particular day. The defend means you have to convince those professors, your colleagues, by explaining the logic value of your thesis. That's why.
Usually students beg that we need.
Yeah.
So not a defend.
Yeah.
It's begging.
Yeah. Yes. Why you should defend the program mission? Because the program has an intrinsic value, supposedly, great story. We listen to, say, great leaders come in here to talk about Tohoku, the recovery project in terms of cultural approach, reconstruction of villages, the towns, right? They are great storytellers. And Asa uses the term storytelling. The function of storytelling is to clearly identify the mission and the key objective and share that with your colleagues on the project team and inspire the team members to get energized and align the efforts to attaining mission and fit for tomorrow's wish, not needs. Yes?
My question about the NASA's mission in the 1950s, for example, what is that? And the 1960s to land that human beings should be landed on the moon.
Yes.
So that might be the mission in 1960s.
Yes,
So
that's
I need the example.
great grand missions. At NASA, there are two levels of missions. One is what you say, landing the moon, right? The other, second-tier mission is almost equivalent to major-sized project, particular project, launching spatial to.
Usually, I'm very much confused with what is the mission for every organization. For example, the university has a mission, and for example, this school, the KO Business School, has a mission.
Yes.
And also, each company has a mission, but it may be very difficult to figure out what does it really mean. So it depends on the people involved. So NASA's mission is quite simple to understand, but usually it is very difficult to understand. So could you give me a hint?
Yes. In my program management courses, mission on two tiers. One is reason detail, the very reason for that particular organization existing, right? Well, that's the first year mission. The mission on the second tier is particular great grand design on the program level. That means in translating organizations, say, for instance, annual business strategy into actual actions, mostly project. And you need the second tier mission. We have to attain this and that this year or in the coming 3 years, 4 years. And so the first tier mission many times is very broad and vague. We can take actions out of that great first tier mission. But on the second tier mission, it's a little bit more clear-cut in terms of direction. For instance, I'm asking you to make a program mission statement. That's one page. Good enough to tell what is ultimate grand design goal of your program, and then how can you say that your program is successful with some very primary measures of success?
So mission can be measured by success or failure, or
That's second tier mission.
second tier.
Yes. First tier mission is whether the organization is ongoing or not. That's measure. Only measure as far as I know. Right? When universities, corporate, say business companies, there must be a going concern. By some reason, for instance, certain university, because of decreasing year 18 population, somebody failed. Some university failed and stopped, ceased, existing. That's end of going concern function, and then it's lost mission.
I just want to kind of add the discussion. Usually when we talk, we always talk about vision and mission,
Yes.
and aim and objectives. And how do you actually differentiate between these two is fairly, is also common to research, the same way we actually use in research. A vision is always a hypothesis. It's like, it's something that I visualize to do that's not immediately measurable. But whereas a mission always comes with measurable objectives. It's the same with aim and objectives. I could be dreaming something and that is an aim, but when I actually put it in objectives, there is always measurable outcomes. And there is a very kind of easy way to remember. I'll just use a board for a second.
Yeah.
Like let's say we are in the ground floor, okay? And I want to go to the first floor. My vision is that I have to raise up. Whereas my mission is how do I actually go from ground floor to first floor? There are several ways. I use the stairs. Well, if I know jumping, I could just jump. Yeah, it's just another way. I could probably use a tree here, maybe climb up. So these are all my mission steps. My vision is that I have to go up. That's a broad way. But my mission is I can use the stairs, I can jump, I could use a tree, I could probably use any other way. The difference is this is always measurable. So mission is always measurable. And how do we actually measure? So that would be the next step. And we have to think about metrics. The difference between measuring your vision or probably measuring your mission or objectives and metrics is here standardization is involved. And it's maybe a bit confusing. Now what is standardization? Standardization is something that everybody agrees. Let me give you an example. Business schools have a vision that when students come in, they become good business leaders. How do you measure leadership? Leadership is a concept. It's hard to measure. So you actually have measurable mission statements to say that he raises profitability by that much. That is measurable. And can you actually measure profitable in an internationally accepted way? I guess maybe an accounting guy would say. And that would be metrics that are standardized. There are other ways to measure business schools' missions. Do they get jobs? How many jobs does one person get when they graduate? So that would be measurable metrics. And that is how business schools actually get their ranking. Based on their mission objectives, achieving their mission objectives. So this is mission, objectives, whatever it is. And this is aim and vision. Going up, being better, being good. How do you measure this? You cannot. These are like vision statements. But you will have to follow them with very measurable objectives or mission statements. and then you use standardized metrics to measure them and say this is what I did and this is accepted by everybody and this is standardized way of saying things. So you have aim and vision, mission and objectives. What follows is measurable ways of saying things. Finally, you have metrics. Okay.
Good. Great contribution. One thing I should add is that there are actually very confusing ways of looking at this tiers of mission, vision, strategy. What you say, as defined by you, is pretty similar to NASA's second tier mission, right? But it's not all. In my class, as I said, there are first tier mission, that is very reason of the existence of the corporation. Second tier mission is pretty close to your mission. However, mission is not always very measurable. We use the term objectives. Objectives should be measurable. So an aim in program management, generally, aim is much lower than mission. So industry sectors use different way of looking at this hierarchy. So it's confusing, but it's schools of defining missions, vision, strategy. In my class, we use this line. Okay. So you can find what I'm saying. Right?
Can I have a clarifying question? For example, every human beings or living creature has some kind of purpose to live or some kind of sustain itself and survive.
Yes.
Those kind of phrases or are they vision or mission or
as far as I know,
not at all.
they are not either mission nor the vision.
For example, many corporations
Yeah.
main purpose is to live
Yes.
longer or sustain their organization and
Yes.
survive. So,
Yes.
so
No, that's a basic function of an organization. It's not mission. Mission, for instance, of Amtrak, right? Trans-American Railroad Corporation, is to serve the customers in terms of transportation.
So it is more associated with value or
Yeah.
something else,
Right.
not only survival.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're not asking to assess why I'm existing, why I'm living, right? There are
So at least we need a value.
yes values, yes, social values, economic values, nowadays sustainability values. Yes.
Excuse me, I have a question concerning Professor Aragawa's question. You mean like value, like everyone have their objective to live in this world. So I think, for example, I'm a daughter of my parents, so I have some mission to my parents, for
Yes.
example. So that one can be say that it's mission or
No, just instead of just mission, my personal mission, my personal value to particular, you have to be specific about to whom, to the society, to your parents, to your common children. Yes.
So, for example, my parents want me to be some kind of person. So
Okay.
this is my mission.
No,
No.
it's your parents' expectations, not mission. Yes, mission is given. or to create yourself. Yeah.
And about mission of a university or an organization, is it, for example, so after 5 years, for example, they will evaluate the program or university like a mission. If the mission they created at the beginning of the program is not achieved, so we can say that it's failure. This is something that to measure the success of a program.
Once again, as far as this program management class is concerned, there are 2 tiers of mission. First is very high up mission. Why not you yourself as an individual, but certain organization exist in this world. That's first mission. Second tier, mission of the second tier is in the more shorter span, say 5 years, 10 years, what you should attain. That's so-called business mission. Not only just the business or economics reason, but public services, that's also mission, government, university, etc. For instance, maybe globalization is part of the mission of KO's 5 years, 10 years program. How to measure it? By increased percentage of non-Japanese students. That's one. Increased partnership with universities abroad. That's another measure. Yes. But the primary mission of Keio University is to provide quality education from K-12 to higher education, say graduate schools. That's K-12 plus.
I'll just use the board once more.
Yep. Welcome. You're welcome. That's the spirit and encouraging, yes.
Vision and excuse my language.
Yeah.
Mission. And you could probably split it this way. Aim is methodology, then method, measures, and metrics. This is the fairly standardized way you look at research, and this is the way you look at a company. When you say, my company wants to build better lives or make people's lives, it is clearly a vision. It does not fall under mission. And it is clearly an aim. How does my company want to make our lives better? There are different ways. So I could probably build a better car. I could use eco-friendly technologies. That would clearly be a methodology. When I'm using certain ways to address my aim or vision, it is clearly a methodology. And how do you say it is an eco-friendly technology? I use a certain method. Like let's say I use batteries, or maybe I use wind energy, I use solar energy, so that would be my method. But how do I actually know that it is actually addressing my aim or vision? I need to measure it, okay, and then say that it is reducing the consumption of energy by X, Y, Z. So that would be my measures. But who's actually going to accept what I say? That my measures are reliable or not. So I need to go to the metrics, which means that when I say energy reduction is going down by 50%, 30%, 10%, I need an internationally accepted and validated way to tell that. So that is my metrics. And this is fairly a standardized way of seeing everything. So when you say like, I want to be better, I want to be nicer, and I want to be a good child to my parents, they're all clearly visions. how do I do that? How am I a good child to my parent? I go to school regularly. So that would be my methodology. Okay? And by going to school regularly, I also have to study. Going to school, sitting and sleeping is not exactly being a good, children to my parent. So that would be my method. And when I read regularly, hopefully my grades are good, which is probably my measures. And my grades are good, but it's okay. But how do I compare it to other people? How does my school compare to others? But if my grades are good, do I get a college seat or whatever it is? That would be a matrix. So these basically 5 structured approach can be applied to just about anything, company, to your life, to basic research or whatever it is. Am I making myself a little bit more clear?
Yes, thank you. And I'm sure that this applies to, economic activities or whatever activities which deal mainly with, established knowledge. But what we are trying to clarify is what should we do when, methodologies are not clear because of a lot of innovation elements. That's program management. But about establishing this is, of course, all intellectual persons are doing it this way, right? Well, probably I don't know Japanese, but so forth.
I also have
Yes.
about the strategy.
Mm-hmm.
We should use strategy only for a mission,
No.
not for
no,
vision
no,
also,
no.
because to define some kind of strategy, it's
Yes.
always some kind of measurable things.
Yeah.
So when we use his law of this way of thinking, vision is unmeasurable things. No,
But that depends.
depends.
Yes. For instance, visions in many corporations say we would like to be this and that. That's particular, the measurable numbers. In 5 years from now.
Yes, yes.
That's adopted by many first-line corporations. So that depends. Yeah. So there are no universal rules that's about in the management field. Yeah. And now this gives you mission structure. I don't too much about this, but think about that mission is broken down into, say, state mission, that's national mission. And one of the state mission is attain economic growth to make nationals happy, okay? And economic growth can be broken down into say this and that. And then this state economic mission, particular mission can be can be translated into business companies, overall corporate level mission, and then division level mission. So it's a lot of, hierarchical breakdown of the mission. So if you think about one tier higher mission, it gives you some idea, some suggestion about which way you're going. Okay? For instance, think about what are the mainstay primary industry that our government is putting emphasis on. This is not very good discussion, but the real world, think about it. Especially regional innovation. All the regions, all the prefectures are coming out with quite similar ideas. So letting them stick to their own ideas is a confusion. So there should be somebody who orchestrates regional innovation by some, strategy, policies, or central governments. So this is one way of interpreting green future innovation project in the Philippines. It's not, in this case, it's not just bioethanol production. It's 6-win program. 6-win means success for the gain for all of the 6 kinds of players participating in this project. In this case, Federation of Farmers, investors, Japanese, Philippine, the owners of this project, the contractor, petroleum companies, the power companies, because they are obliged to utilize biofuel blended into petroleum products, as well as excess power coming from this plant put on the power grid. So this is, I will explain more in detail later on. This is Delhi-Mumbai Industrial Corridor project. That's gigantic, $90 billion worth. India-Japan National Strategic Project to build a very big industrial corridor from New Delhi down to near Mumbai. And its mission is to realize world-class infrastructure, producing triple industrial output in 5 years in these 6 western states of India. Right? Quadruple export, that means 4 times larger exports from the region in 5 years. Double employment potential in 5 years. By what? By how? Right? By ensuring interdependence of various sectors of economy and offer effective integration between industry and infrastructure. So this program is going ahead, I think more or less on the program. So it's a lot of Japanese corporations involved in this. So let us stop here, say for 10 minutes, right? We come back at 10:50, right? 10:50. Oh, sorry, 11:50. Then we will finish the morning lecture by 12:30. We are, I think, a little bit behind this lecture schedule, so I'll concentrate on primary ones. Well, I like this way, a lot of discussions, very interactive. So welcome, any comments are welcome. You read English, so you can have a look at text later on. More discussion is available. Or just catching. Good.